I think to myself, teaching gives me wings, and I'm going to really miss it. Where else can you be a tin god to a captive audience but in a classroom? At the end of one passionate motivational speech on the bedrock of reading to literacy, as the kids were flying out, a younger Matt Pridoy stopped, still taken aback, and said, "Were you a preacher?" And in another instance, more recently, only in the classroom.
That was rhetorical, sorry.
On another more recent instance, I got on one of my tirades against corporatism and consumer culture. And midway through my rant, so to speak, Ludovico Bach, Ludi as we affectionately know him, shouted out with a kind of ironic glee, "We should have a revolution, sir!" Which I guess is part of where I come from, and he realized that. In any case, it's been wonderful. It's a gift to be able to teach at Earl Haig. The kids are so committed to learning. It's a place where you can teach instead of ride herd on discipline. And one of my responses actually to we should have a revolution was, you know, revolutions as we know them are things of the past. In a hyper-individualistic culture, they're no longer possible. But at the same time, we do need a revolution. And I would like to think of Earl Haig as taking part in that kind of revolution, which is a revolution in lifestyle, where less is actually seen as truly more. And what better way to start it than with the critical issue of our age, to actually green Earl Haig in the fullest sense of the term. And the only way that would work is if everybody was involved, and that doesn't mean just the teachers. It perhaps as a start on a PD day and then to a school-wide conference across all grade levels, which should include parents invited, because it's in all of us good doing something like that together that the change really comes, and we all know that that's critical. Now, just as a little aside, I went to a book launch by Priscilla Costello, who you remember as a teacher in English here at Earl Haig, and she is a practicing astrologist, and she capsulized in her speech at her book launch that, in fact, history and astrology had made connections and had found that on 2 previous occasions, and the upcoming occasion, the alignment of 3 planets were synonymous with turbulent times. The first one being in 1929 to 1933, the second one being in 1960 to 1972. And that realignment is coming again in 2008 to 2020. And rather than dealing with the consequences of it, it would be good to see Earl Haig lead the way. And I can't think of a better way to do it than with the greening of the school. And we have the experience, the knowledge, the talent, and the leadership to do that. And that's really what's special about the Haig. Thank you very much.